delivered straight to your inbox. Never miss a story or a last lap pass by subscribing to the official NASCAR newsletter today. Visit NASCAR.com/newsletter. Cars all lined up on pit road. Take a look at our qualifying rules. Group qualifying once again. Now that's different from the way it was last year. Last year was a high drag package that they had on the cars. This is going to be completely different. Round one, fastest 24 cars will advance to round two. They have 20 minutes to go out on the track. Probably won't expect to see guys make 2 runs because the fastest run more than likely will be their fastest. Round 2, the fastest 12 will advance to round 3, and in round 3 we will set the top 12, and that includes the pole winner.
Remembering in that round 1, 41 cars here at Brickyard. Round 1 is Sunday's entire weekend because one of these teams won't be joining us when this qualifying's over.
And there's Tony Stewart rolling out, as Kelly just mentioned, for the final time. Final qualifying session at the Brickyard for Indiana native Tony Stewart.
This is going to seem odd to say in qualifying, but the width of this pit road, I think, is going to make a difference. You see the Xfinity cars are lined up there later for their heat race. So these Cup cars have to navigate past them. That only gives them 2 lanes. So right now, everyone's very orderly, Jeff. But you can imagine if we get towards the end of this session and you're in a hurry to get out, it's not going to be quite that simple.
Oh, that's right. It'll be a battle for track position. I tell you what, I think the strategy of going early kind of makes sense to me. The track condition really ain't going to change. It's probably not going to get faster as the session goes on. This will give you more opportunity for your tires to get out for that second run. So I like going early here.
Rick, I was saying about the clouds, unless you don't think you can make it through, then perhaps you can wait on a cloud.
How about Casey Kane? The big weekend for Casey Kane because Dale Earnhardt Jr. isn't here. Possibly could move up in the standings points-wise to get him in a better position to make the chase.
Unless Casey Kane wins a race, the pressure is going to be high every weekend from now until Richmond. He's in that position where they just cannot afford any more lost points. You see them there 22 behind. Remember, they had a 15-point penalty earlier this year. So I know they're trying to recover from that and get back up above that red line and in the chase.
And Dale Earnhardt Jr. suffering from concussion-like symptoms. Over a week and a half ago, wasn't able to race in Loudon. Last week, it was mentioned that he wouldn't be racing in either Indianapolis or Pocono, so Jeff Gordon will be subbing for him coming out of the Hendrick stables.
And remember, Rick, poor Casey Kane, every time we're going to see the highlight of Jeff Gordon winning his final Brickyard 400 here in 2014. Who did he pass in the final restart? But his teammate Casey Kane. So Casey has run well here. I mean, a win here, not only is the Brickyard 400 would be the chase grade, I don't know which would be more important to him. The birth of the chase or the Brickyard 400, because they're both huge.
Second was Casey Kane's best finish at this racetrack, and that was back in 2005.
And everybody on pit road is paying attention to this because he just ran a 49.70, which is, I'm sorry, a 49.18, which is quicker than he ran yesterday. And Danica Patrick,
48.70 for Danica Patrick in her first lap out on the track.
You always ask, and as a crew chief, I would be so frustrated. I swear the drivers lie because they say they gave you all you had in practice, but somehow they find that speed. You're on board here with Tony Stewart. Yesterday, roughly the same track conditions, and most of these fast cars, Jamie McMurray is over a half a second. There's Tony Stewart, a 48.50 to the top of the board. That is much, much faster than he ran yesterday.
And what's surprising about that, yesterday when these teams made Mach 2 runs, it was cloudy.
Right.
Overcast conditions. Right now, it's hot, sunny, almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You think track temps would be way up, but they found a way.
And a little different paint scheme on the 48 right here at Jimmy Johnson, that Lowe's red vest car. Has that bright red look. I'll be looking for the white and blue car all day, so luckily this one will stand out.
Just to put it into perspective, Steve, you mentioned the fact that Tony Stewart way faster than he was yesterday. Over a second faster than he was yesterday. We're riding along with Jeff Gordon.
Yeah, that's right. Riding along with Jeff Gordon. It is very difficult. You've been out of the car overnight. You thought about it, and now you got to get back in the car. I think this is a very difficult qualifying situation. This track is always slick, but as you're going down the back straightaway, Jeff Gordon's got to be thinking about what do I need to do in turn 3. Don't drive in too deep. Lift a little bit early. Get to the bottom. Go back to the throttle as quickly as you can.
And I want to just listen. Listen to the throttle in turn 4. Can he commit one time, or will he have to play with the throttle in and out? And maybe it sound really good. He's only 3 tenths behind Jimmy Johnson. This lap should easily get the 24 car into the second round. And that seemed earlier, talking about his interview. Hey, I just want to move forward 6 quick for Jeff Gordon. really has impressed me. I don't know why I've had any question. I work with him. I know how talented he is, but he has just proven again how unbelievable these athletes are. To jump back in a race car after time away like it was nothing. 6 picks so far.
And let's be clear, that's only 0.3 of a second off of his teammate Jimmy Johnson, who's been in the heat of the battle all year long. And it's difficult getting out of a car and then getting back in. Like a basketball player, football player, you get out of that rhythm, it takes you a while to get back into it. So we saw Denny Hamlin, he went to 5th on the board.
Denny Hamlin 5th quickest. Jimmy Johnson is the fastest. He's posted the number of 48.43. Kurt Busch across the start-finish line, and he goes 48.68.
And Rick, I want to go back to the start of qualifying. Casey Kane rolled out. Thought, Jeff and I both agreed, go out there, get a lap in. You're going to be fine. Currently 13th. Casey Kane yesterday ran a 49.70. Today, Casey Kane ran a 49.20. He picked up a half a second from the fastest he has gone the entire time here in Indianapolis, and he has to have major concern about not moving into round 2.
Not making it in the top 24 and advancing to the second round. You see Mark Truex Jr. with the blue number 78 this weekend.
Again, right along, listen to the throttle.
Talk about early commitment to the throttle, my goodness.
That was way early. You heard he had to get out of the throttle a little bit because he got in the throttle so hard, but that was an aggressive corner.
I love how relaxed they were. You see him take his left hand off the wheel, reach up, tuck the belts a little bit. He's halfway through his qualifying lap at the Brickyard.
Wiggling his fingers a bit on the steering wheel.
Listen, if I got in the throttle that quick, I'd be tightening my belts too. I mean, that was aggressive.
Back onto the front stretch, coming to the line. The track about 0.3 of a second off of what Jimmy Johnson's been able to do. That was 8th quickest for Mark Truex Jr.
And that should be safe. That should move you on into the next round. I don't think people will be able to go faster the second time out. I would be surprised if they can. You can lay a solid lap down. I think in the top 15, top 20 even, I think you're pretty safe.
Remember, we've got guys like Kyle Busch, Carl Edwards, Matt Kenseth, and Joey Logano. They still have not gone.
In this lap, Rick, sorry to interrupt, it has to be disappointing for Casey Mears. Currently 18th on the board. Had some speed yesterday in practice. I know that Booty Barber and this entire 13 team was looking for more. They'll have to come in, make some adjustments, and try it again. But as we talk, it's going to be very difficult. As we see Austin Dillon here in the 3, it's going to be hard to go faster. As touchy as this track is, a little bit of gripping any of the 4 corners can really slow your lap down.
Austin has a good lap going and see if he can stay in the throttle and leave in turn 4. He actually got a really good run. May time up leaving turn 4, coming to the start-finish line. This is going to be a good lap.
A very good lap for Austin Dillon, second fastest. 48.512 for Austin Dillon. He will be safely in the top 24.
You see a little bit of water right there at the base of the windshield on the right side when it's coming out at 20. That's another thing we're going to discuss as this qualifying goes on, Jeff. It's not just how your car can handle, but when we talk about qualifying, we know, as we see Kevin Harvick here in his lap, a good lap going, only 2 tenths off Jimmy Jones.
Look at that wheel. Look at him working the wheel. It's not easy around here.
No, it's not. But what we're going to talk about is it's not just cooling the tires, but these teams want to continue to run as much tape as possible, and it's going to be hard to get your engine cooled down. Remember, basically a 50-second lap, about a 50-second out lap. You're talking a long time for that engine to be running without air going through the radiator. Kevin Harvick ends up 5th on the board.
Chevrolet, top 3 spots. The Ford with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and then 3 more Chevrolets in the top 7.
Allmendinger there jumped in just in front of Casey Kane. I'm telling you, Casey Kane in 19th, A.J. Allmendinger in 18th. I see a lot of names. You mentioned it earlier, Rick, a lot of names yet to run. I think that on the left side of your board is going to start getting a major mix-up here in a moment.
This 19 car, everybody's been talking about the 19, Carl Edwards. You looked at his race pace from yesterday. Everybody thinks right now this is one of the teams you have to beat, if not the team to beat. A lot of people are talking about this car being the fastest in race shown, and they were good in Q-Term yesterday as well.
Carl Edwards is going to be running right up and one of the fastest that'll be on the track. But right now, I think everybody's focused on the cut line, that 24th spot, trying to get into the second round. See if you can advance.
So, Jeff, as a driver, can you save any? I mean, we see Jimmy Johnson right now at a 48.40. I'm predicting the cut line's going to be about a 49 flat, 0.6 of a second. If you're as fast as Carl Edwards is, are you surprised he's running close to Jimmy Johnson's full speed, or do you think they could save a little? As we see 2 cars nose to tail, you definitely don't want to run nose to tail here qualifying.
I definitely don't Kyle Larson, although he was one of those cars, moved up to 16th. But a lot of people talk about Joey Logano, 21st, not very good. Comes Kyle Busch, got a good lap going.
Kyle Busch, second quickest. 48.435. That's 3/1000ths of a second slower than what Jimmy Johnson ran. He wasn't saving anything.
I tell you, there's some names on the left side of your screen that there is some concern. Logano came. We see Brad Keselowski right here. He's easily going to be above his teammate Joey Logano. You see Chase Elliott just in front of Brad Keselowski starting his lap. We're going to see a lot of movement as he does. He jumps to third.
Yeah, Keselowski is third quickest, but how about Logano now? Logano's only 2 positions, and Kane only 1 position above the cut line.
So to give you a better picture, Rick, we've adjusted the rundown the left side of your screen at home. We've kind of moved the top 14 off the screen. We all feel the top 14 safe. 15th on down, though, there's no guarantees as cars go out and continue to run faster. You see Chase Elliott, 2/10 off Jimmy Johnson. As long as he can have a good 3 and 4, Jeff, he should be okay. But that's easier said than done.
Yeah, you saw the sparks flying off the car. That's the splitter. Side skirts on the ground. You want the car as low as you can get them for maximum grip. Chase Elliott with a good lap. He's going to be safe again.
And a great turn 4. Look at the time gain back on Jimmy Johnson down the front stretch.
We have a little cloud there, bud. See how it's a little more cloudy at this racetrack because you have 4 distinct corners. It's not like most racetracks. Here's 4 distinct corners. If you get any help at all with cloud, it multiplies itself. So if it's worth, say, a half a tenth at Charlotte Motor Speedway, I think it's worth 3/10 here because I just believe that the difference in all 4 corners, long straightaways, I believe cloud cover matters more than any racetrack we go to.
Rick, with 9 minutes left, now the waiting and the chess game begins because you have Casey Kane out, Joey Logano on the bubble.
And remember, Casey King went out first, so he's going to be able to be on pit road, cooling off his car the longest, and he's probably going to be hoping for a cloud to come over so he can get back in that top 20.
And the thing is, I think he'll wait. I think he'll wait as long as he can to cool those tires as much as he can. So that puts Logano in a position where he might not wait. He might have to make a run just in defense if Casey Kane goes out and makes a run. So what this 5 car does, which by the way the 22 can't control, will really determine when the 22 has to run. If I'm the crew chief or if I'm the driver of the 5, I'm waiting. I'm sitting there saying, I want to wait, get my tires cooled down as much as I can. If I get this cloud, I want to go, but I need cool tires.
And let's not forget the fact, Rick, that remember, one of these teams will not race in the Brickyard 100, and that's what we're looking at. We have Ryan Blaney, Josh Wise, Reed Sorensen, Ryan Ellis, and Cole Witt. Those are all open teams, means they don't race under a charter system. With more than 40 cars here, the slowest of those non-charter cars will miss the race. Currently, right now, Josh Wise is the slowest of those non-charter cars in the 40th position. The 32 of Patrick Carpentier hasn't run yet. But Josh Wise currently is on the outside looking in. He's going to have to find some speed to try to improve.
And he has to find a lot of speed. His lap was way off of the cars in front of him. So he must have had a major problem, which means there is potential. I mean, you see somebody a second and a half off of the last spot, that most likely means he had an issue, and that means he might can come back and get some speed.
Of those 5 drivers, the non-charter teams, 1 will not race on Sunday. Mike?
Well, one guy who will race on Sunday is the guy who's filling in for Dale Earnhardt Jr. Of course, that is 5-time Brickyard winner Jeff Gordon. Gordon getting back behind the wheel yesterday for the first time since Homestead, trying to dial the car in, but so far here in qualifying, it's not handling quite the way he would like.
I can drive in deep. I just can't get back in the throttle. Track far up, helps a little, but it's still even then getting tight later on. You know, it's like a tight, and then it wants to kind of snap the back end around.
And very similar balance conditions to what Jeff was reporting yesterday during practice. Right now, 15th on the board. It would appear he has a bit of a cushion here in round 1. But round 2, looks like they may have some work to do, Rick.
One thing, Rick, is, you know, I guess I have the advantage of knowing because I've tried to set cars up for Jeff Gordon for many years. He drives a lot with his hands, and what I mean by that is every driver talks about the balance of a race car. Well, is it the seat? You know, do they feel it in their body? Do they feel it in their feet? Do they feel it in their head? Jeff Gordon really feels it in the right hand. When he drives a race car, he likes a heavy right hand. He likes to feel that right front tire, and the issue is it's very hard to make the right front tire give a lot of response to the driver and have the car change direction, because normally if the car's turning on its own, the wheel's very light, you don't do much to the wheel, you just keep from spinning out. Well, Jeff Gordon likes to go in and tug really difficultly on that wheel, but when he does tug on it, he wants it to change direction. Those are two very counter opposite things. It's very hard to get a car to do both of those, but I'll tell you, if you can get it to both of those, he'll take care of the rest. You just need to find a way that he can get that response in his right hand.
Danica Patrick, pretty impressive so far in this first session. 13th quickest.
Yeah, she showed speed yesterday as well. And this racetrack, has been a very good racetrack for her. We saw her contend to win the Indy 500. We've seen her run very well. She's qualified well here in the past also. She's qualified 14th, 15th. She had one qualifying of 33rd, which obviously wasn't so great, but she has done a really good job here. And, I think she's comfortable here. And I think the longer she can spend at this racetrack, if this racetrack, in my eyes, became here twice a year, that'd be beneficial for her because it's a comfort zone for her, and she does very, very well here.
And Danica's pretty happy with that first run so far. Expecting the car to be a little bit tighter, guys, in the next round. Yet she told her crew chief, don't make any changes. It feels like she's pretty happy with it right now. The only thing she wants to do different, she expects that she needs to be a little bit more aggressive in turns 1 and 2.
Green chip on the left side of your screen means that the cars are on track. That means Casey Kane has decided to go out a little bit earlier than what we thought. Buscher's out there. Brian Scott, Casey Mears, Chris Buscher on the track.
He's close. Look at this time. I think he got really high there, but it didn't hurt him. Let's see if he can carry to turn 4. If this car lays a lap time down and moves himself in, it's going to be an attention getter to everybody on pit road. He looks good right now.
How about Logano? Logano's going to have to strap up tight because he's going to get knocked out right here as Chris Buscher will move ahead of Logano, and Allmendinger now on the cut line. Amazingly, Chris Buscher and Ryan Ellis, they're the only drivers entered who have never raced in a Brickyard 400.
Look at Casey Kane. He's to the good. Lost some getting into turn 3. Let's see if he gains it back on corner exit. Right now, he is gaining it back.
Starting to go back the other way just a little. That's what's so hard about this corner. Is you heard Tony Stewart talking about it in his interview. Everything was going good until turn 4 in practice. The same thing just happened to Casey Kane.
Casey Kane was 26th. He's not going to advance enough to move into the top 24 with that run. And with only 3.5 minutes to go.
You see Joe Logano on the racetrack right here in that 22 car. He knows he has to get back on the cut line.
And he's got to look at his teammate, Brad Keselowski, who ran 3rd quickest from the same equipment as Brian Scott, also on track. He's a half a second behind Allmendinger.
Let's see if Logano, he has cloud cover. He's had a fair amount of time to cool his tires down. If he's got a chance, the cloud cover without a doubt, Steve's going to help him.
You see right there, already into the green through turn 1. Will he stay there? Oh, he's starting to give it back. Maybe overdrove the entry of 1 a little bit. We'll see if he can back up turn 2 and get that great run down the long back stretch. And he's done it. As he goes into the green on corner exit, I think he's going to continue to gain time down the back stretch.
Got to just keep going and going and going. That's what good corner exits before these long straightaways will do for you. So now he's just got to be smooth. Doesn't have to try to overachieve in this corner. Just hit your marks. Be nice and smooth. Of course, he doesn't know. He tries to us. He doesn't know how good he is.
Easy for us to say.
He's 0.3 of a second ahead of Allmendinger.
Going the wrong way. This is a long front stretch. I think he should be able to hold on, but when you're losing lap time, this is a long, long straightaway.
Slid coming out of 4. Does he hang on? Yes, he does. 21st quickest for Joey Logano. Now Chris Buscher right on the cut line.
So now Allmendinger and his team, they got to find a way to find some speed if they can go back out, which they'll obviously do their best to go back out.
And we mentioned Josh Wise. He's out there trying to get that 30 car into the race. You see him, it's going. It's a little over 2 seconds off. I just don't think he's going to find the speed he needs to move up the list.
They're obviously having major issues to be that far off.
Now we see that blue car coming into your picture. Eric Almirola just didn't seem like it was going right for this 43 car yesterday. Trent Owens reported that they just hadn't found the speed. They're trying to find different things. When we talk about how difficult this schedule is, all the practice was yesterday. There was only an hour between practices, not a lot of time to sleep on it and come up with a new package. And this 43 just hasn't had the speed or the handle that Eric Almirola's been looking for. But look at this.
Yeah.
They're leaving pit road in a hurry now.
Time running out. They've got to get all the way back around to the start-finish line.
Yeah, this is interesting because Boyer, behind the 47 car Allmendinger, Boyer was moving fast on pit exit, which is what you would expect. But Allmendinger was not. Allmendinger was kind of taking his time. I don't know if he's looking for clean air, but what that did was stacked these three cars up. So Boyer, in my opinion, is not in the shape you want to be in. You don't want to be near a car.
Right.
The only thing that's going to do is that's going to hurt the way your car drives. You do not get enough drafting help on these long straightaways to make up for what you lose in the corners. So I think that Allmendinger leaving a little bit slow surprised Boyer, and I think that's going to hurt Boyer.
Well, these three are all going to make it to the start-finish line before the clock runs out on this first round. 30 seconds to go.
So, Jeff, why not just lift? If you're Clint Boyer coming off turn
Momentum.
5 car lengths behind that,
It's momentum, and
I think that's more important than the air.
Well, I don't. All I know is that if I'm Clint Boyer, I know that I gotta go. I gotta get momentum going, and I don't know why the 47 wasn't moving. There's a reason why. He didn't go out there just riding around. There's a reason why. But you can see right now, none of these cars are showing the speed to be able to get in, unless Allmendinger has a great 3 and 4.
And he could do it. It's gaining it back right here. It's really all turn 4. If he gets a run off turn 4, it's going the wrong way. He needs to back this corner up, get the gas really hard, really early, and get a great run down the front stretch. Continues to go the wrong way. The 47 is not going to make it into the top 24.
And the last name on there, Patrick Carpentier, is locked in to the charter system. So Patrick Carpentier will be in, even though he put up the slowest lap in qualifying, but he is in. The drivers that went out there for another attempt, it didn't work out for them as far as getting into the top 24, and Josh Wise is going to be the one driver that won't be able to advance to race on Sunday. We're going to talk with some of the drivers next. Jimmy Johnson was fastest in the first round. Chris Buescher hung on to finish 24th in the first round.